Hi, I'm Lisa Ann, and you're now watching the Growing Up Italian podcast.
Grown Up Italian.
Growing Up Italian. Growing Up Italian podcast.
Growing Up Italian.
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 Growing Up Italian podcast.
Growing Up Italian.
Growing Up Italian.
Growing Up Italian podcast.
Growing Up Italian. Woo!
Yeah, but no, it's more like they want you to feed it differently. They want to go back to the photo aspect. They want to have some reels. They actually want to have some side-by-side video as well. And then more in the story. I think it's because, honestly, there was that incredible, couple of days with Congress where Meta had to face the heat of what this is doing to teenagers. So I think them changing the algo is like, if we put less pressure on people to feed the algo, then they can't be as stressed. And I'll tell you what, it's made me a lot less stressed. So I'm thrilled about it. During the summer, I'm like, fuck yes. I'll post once and then lay at the pool all day. My phone will be off.
I'm not going to lie. I have a different approach.
Tell me.
Reel a day keeps the doctor away.
I always do one a day anyway.
Okay.
Maybe on the weekends I haven't this summer, I'll admit. But there's always a reel somewhere in my phone that I could just pop up there real quick.
All right.
I've been more on this kick that lifestyle stuff. That's the kind of content I'm meant to make. Like running downstairs, slicing a sandwich real quick. Or,
Fun.
Hanging out with Joe, hang out with some of my characters, whatever, lifestyle stuff. Because a lot of people can't replicate the lifestyle.
Joe has replicated the lifestyle because that is the largest horn I've ever seen.
Well,
Emphasis on horn.
I'm glad she called it a horn.
I
and
mean,
not a
that
pepper.
horn, that is, you took horn to a whole new level. Okay?
What's fun?
Show it to the camera, Joe. We can't really see it from that angle. You
Show it to the camera.
Yeah,
You got it, a little pic? You got it?
I got it.
I've never seen a horn that big.
That's what she said. No, you know what's funny? My dad bought, because you're not supposed to buy that yourself.
Sure.
Someone has to buy it for you.
Yes.
So I told my dad, in case you see one, I don't have one. I didn't have one that I liked. So my dad bought me one that exact size. And it's when you wear it, you feel crazy.
Yeah.
It suits me because I'm a big guy, so, it suits me. Plus, I got a lot of bad people around me. I would try to keep the evil away and try to keep,
I'll tell you what else. You could pull that thing off your neck in a second, stab somebody's eye out.
Yeah.
That
That
thing
too.
between your fingers.
Oh, that too.
It's over.
I like that.
What does the horn mean to you?
Oh, it's an Italian tradition to me as well. I mean, it was just something that every cousin that I had reached a certain age where you finally went to visit and he was wearing the horn laid on top of his cross. And I was like, okay, he's a teenager now. Now we're evolving. And it just continues to grow the jewelry on, it's our culture.
Wait, so you're really Italian?
Yeah, I grew up in a small town, Easton, Pennsylvania.
Uh-huh.
That was mainly Lebanese, Italian, and Greek.
Wow.
And it was a huge immigrant town because there was so much work in that area. After the war, there were steel mills. Remember, Pennsylvania, a lot of steel mills. There was concrete. There were a lot of plants there. Mac Printing was there, which was where my family worked. There were a lot of. So I grew up in this culture where every weekend there was either a festival at a Greek church, a Lebanese church, and our food is very kind of similar.
Yes, it's
and
like
our
the
culture,
Mediterranean.
and we all kind of, and it was great because you could see the difference in the neighborhoods. The Greeks put statues in their yards that are next level, right? The Italians do things too, but lots of peppers everywhere, lots of tomatoes, lots of plants, lots of flowers, everything everywhere. But it's just it was a neat mesh of growing up with those three.
Sure.
Hold that though 1 second. Yo, Nikki, can you do me a favor? No, I just thought of something. Can you go to the liquor store and ask whoever's working to give you a bottle of Lisa Ann's wine?
Oh, get one red, one white.
One
too.
red, one white. Yeah, and just bring it up and then we'll bring it back down. Because that way we could talk about it on the show. I just thought of it right now.
Smart. Do you
sorry.
leave the AC on while you record?
Yes.
And you just pull out the sound, the room tone, or it doesn't even.
Well, I blocked it a little, so it's not
Yeah, it's much lower.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if you
Wow,
can tell.
It's amazing. How'd you do that?
Yeah, it's much lower.
I just put a paper towel over one.
Over half of it. Yeah,
So
yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
It's something so little,
But
right?
I mean, a lot of you are probably wondering right now why Joe is sitting in Rocco's seat.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rocco.
I mean,
What happened to Rocco?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. He heard you were coming, and he told Rocco not to show up today.
Did you switch the dates in the schedule?
That's not true. I love Rocco like a little brother.
Rocco's going to show up tomorrow. Isn't
Emphasis on little brother. He's like, sit this one up, pal. No. So Rocco's moving right now. He's super busy with life. He's expecting a baby.
Right.
So the show must go on.
Yeah.
I told Rocco, listen, this is part of life. You know, it's coming. You know, your whole life's about to change. You know, Joe's been on the show so many times. Our followers love him. It's a family deal. You know, like one of us has to step up to the plate. And Joe is very, like, I'm not going to lie to you. The 100 times I've met Joe, he's been late over 30, 40 minutes every time.
Early.
Today, I told him.
Smart man.
I told him about
man.
this. I said, listen, it's 1 o'clock, but show up at 12:30. You know.
I was here at 12:15 with pastries on the way.
Okay, I'm pretty impressed that you did line up the Fortunato brothers bring the pastries. Okay, that was smooth.
Listen, the rainbow cookies, pinoli
all
cookies,
of the cookies. I have already eaten one. I'll eat 10 more cannolis. But thank you for sitting in and making this
Anytime,
appearance
anytime.
and being on time early. Like, amazing.
My pleasure. Actually, when he texted me about it, I said, he didn't have to finish. I said, absolutely.
Well, you know, in the Italian culture, if you're on time, you're actually late.
That's true.
That's also
That's
true.
very true.
That's also true.
So, growing up for you, what were the strict Italian things that
You know, it's just so fun because this is a subject I wanted to talk to you about.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But first, let's talk about what we're doing today.
Okay.
So I met you when we did the Mario Bosco show, and we did like an in-store next door.
Yeah.
And today we're doing a wine tasting, and these are your wines. And tell us a little bit about being in the wine business.
So these wines are from the beautiful city of Ganji, Sicily, which is this very small region, and it's also the highest altitude on the entire island of Sicily. So what that does for the grapes is it dehydrates them really naturally, so you don't get a lot of sugar. I'm not really a fan of white normally, but this is a nice light white. This Grillo is very unique because the hardest thing about getting this wine here is getting it here. It's the biggest expense is getting it down from the mountain in small vehicles, then load it into something bigger, then put it on the barge, and then bring it over. So there's only about 7 restaurants in the city right now that have Grillo. So now I'm adding this Grillo restaurant by restaurant. This is the only liquor store right now that sells my wines. And then the red, the Nerello Mascalese, is also a grape that is indicative of this region of Sicily. Beautiful red. Some people even drink this red chilled, which is unique for a red to be able to have it both ways.
Right.
But I'm really proud. This is something that I just wanted to find a way to have a deeper connection with Italy and do business there and find a way, you know, it's where I'd like to retire. It's where I'd like to have a small place that I could start Airbnb and sharing with friends, you know, over the next couple of years. So this was like, okay, this gets me a connection. I went there for the harvest in October of last year, and I got to meet everybody at the winery. Really made me want to practice up on my Italian. But just
Duolingo?
right now, I'm just listening to audiobooks.
Okay.
I'm switching over my TV every once in a while. Like, I can watch sports in Italian with the captions, and it really helps me read and understand it because I know what they're saying.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
This has been
Lisa.
a really fun project for me, and it's another way for me to use the contacts that I have because I've spent so much of my life in the nightlife business, and I've asked myself, like, I love hosting and doing events here and there, but I don't love being out till 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning anymore.
It gets played out. On
It does, but I want to still use the contacts that I've built because we have such good relationships. You know, it's at Say Less, it's at Panda, it's at Papa's, all the greatest spots in the city.
I always
so
see you at like sports bars too.
Right.
it's very special, so I'm very
Who wouldn't want
proud.
Lisa Ann to host their party? I'm about to throw a party just so she could host.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the wine's amazing, and I will say, the wine is flying. Like Lisa has
Dedicated people.
fans that when she did this first in-store, there was fans that came from Toronto just for like the day. Like in and out trip. You know what I'm saying? Like fly in the morning, go home at night. That's dedication.
Well, I'm taking this home with me. You know,
Okay.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, how many cases could we count on you, Joe?
Whatever you like.
We got to move units. You know what I'm saying? This is what we're here for.
Let's move
And
it.
I'll tell you what else. The hangover is non-existent, which is the best part. My
That's
girlfriends and I all tackled a bottle one night each. I in my apartment. Like, we have 4 bottles. We have to tackle one each, and wake up and give it like a review.
Sick
How do
invite.
we feel, right? I'll take
Wow.
everyone to cryotherapy because that's the best way to get rid of a hangover.
Sick invite.
Everyone woke up the next day like, I feel good. When's it going to kick in? I'm like,
For the record, Joe, whenever she has 4 friends and they're drinking wine, shouldn't we get an invite?
Absolutely.
You know, like this is how we're gonna move these things.
Yeah,
we gotta
it's
create
true.
content. We gotta We gotta film everybody drinking.
Listen, I'll
having
bring
a
the
good time.
pastries. You supply the wine. What are you gonna bring?
I'll bring some sandwich.
Bring the food. I mean, you got the
little-
food
Yeah,
downstairs.
little
sandwiches.
massage,
Yeah.
Little
there you
prosciutto,
go.
little mozzarella, little
It's
antipasto,
connection.
you know?
The
Are you a big
food.
charcuterie girl?
Yes.
Is it
But see,
charcuterie or antipasto?
It's more antipasta for me.
Okay, thank God. I
I
was testing
really
you.
don't eat meat.
I remember that last
which
time.
is a
actually.
tough thing as an Italian.
Very tough.
Very tough thing. In Italy, I will eat the meat. I don't really trust the meat here in the U.S. But just to keep my protein up, I have everything once a week. So I have a piece of salmon once a week, a piece of chicken, which is it's not my thing. Everything except red meat.
Okay.
So, but then when I see a nice antipasta, then it's like that's when you splurge. That's when you enjoy it.
Right.
So you enjoyed the super sad, sausage, prosciutto, mortadella, like
my-
Italian specialties.
You know what I love that's hard to find? It's a shank. It's like lamb.
Guanciale?
Oh my gosh, it's either lamb or veal. It's really hard to find. It comes in. It just comes off the bone. The bones in with it. It'll come to me.
Ossobuco.
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 Oh my God, I love that so much.
Ossobuco is like very slow cooked.
It is, and it's very specific on where you can get it good. Like it's got to be a super small Italian restaurant.
That's a very authentic Italian dish.
It is.
You know who made that really good? Rocco.
Rocco from Incontro.
Yeah.
He still makes it good.
Yeah,
You know,
I know. I'm just saying because he was in Astoria. I had to go to. We should go to his new place.
we
someday.
have to go to his new place.
Yeah. Where is it now?
It's in Manhattan, 86th Street, I believe, in 2nd Avenue. Don't quote me on it, but it's
Find
it's
it and
uptown.
I'll
We
go.
should go.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
all
Does he still have the Ossobuco?
Absolutely.
We're on pursuit.
He'll
for
make
this.
it.
I'm chasing.
My
We're
friend
going.
Rocco will make it special
Yeah,
for
yeah.
you.
It's a plan.
Lisa, I'm not saying this.
We'll do this while he's away.
I'm not saying this because this is Joe's friend. I really mean this. Rocco is an amazing. He's one of the best chefs in New York.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like he is amazing.
What's the name of his restaurant?
He had a place.
Trattoria L'Incontro.
He had a place in Astoria for like
25 years.
25 years. I think his lease ended, and now he moved into Manhattan.
Moved into Manhattan.
And I've been meaning to go to his new place, but it
you
is
gotta go.
his place in Astoria. The food was one of the best in the city.
People came from all over the world to go to his restaurant.
Yeah,
That's how good.
And
it is.
he makes like unique dishes.
Yes.
So like his combinations, you won't expect it. It'll be like sweet and salty. You know, like he puts the things that you wouldn't think of to put together.
Well,
So and his ossobuco is.
I think the
amazing.
true basis of Italian life is food.
Yes.
It's everything is revolves
We're
around
surrounded
food.
by it.
Everything you're doing together, you're getting together with people. For us, we garden. You know, most Italians will have their own garden.
You know,
raise their own
Lisa
fruits and
likes to
vegetables.
garden, right?
You do, huh?
Yeah.
Like to grow your own stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I can't do it because I live in this city, but I'll do it one day again. But I grew up doing it, and you know, everything's just so fresh and pure. No one's touched it, and it's this whole like we also don't trust people, so we would rather someone else not touch our food.
We should grow some tomatoes.
Right? Am I
together.
right?
100%.
Trust no one as an
100%.
Italian. I was raised you trust no one.
That's right.
We should grow some tomatoes together.
You have that great back area back there.
We got like some stuff there.
You could put some boxes,
We
some
got
stand-up
we
boxes.
got some zucchini hanging in there.
Growing up tomatoes, you know.
Growing up tomatoes.
Mazzanigol,
Growing
Yeah,
up
yeah.
tomatoes
Growing
is
up tomatoes.
fire.
you know.
We should rebrand.
You heard it first. Big Joe
Yeah.
said it.
But yeah, so I know nothing about gardening. But my dad, growing up, he always grew tomatoes, eggplant,
my
peppers.
father too.
He was big with the hot peppers.
And you had more than you ever needed. Every
Yeah.
time you walked in your house, your counter was filled with tomatoes, right?
Right.
And people would come over and take some from you. Friends would visit you, try and get some with you. You never bought produce.
No,
I remember
we always had
moving to the West Coast and going to the grocery store my first time and buying produce ever. Because I always, everybody gardened back home, so I always got produce from friends, whatever. And I was like, wow, cucumbers are $1. I remember I was traumatized by how much it cost because I'd never bought it before.
So yesterday I was driving from the city to Howard Beach, and I took a little shortcut, and somehow I'm going through East New York, and I see a U-Haul and a table like right on the side, and it was like 30 watermelons out. So like I literally pulled over to the right, and I was with the food bloggers from Milan. I'm
Those are
like,
the best ones.
Perfect.
"Ma tu capisci che sta succedendo là?" And he's like, "What?" I'm like, "Bro, they're selling watermelon on the back of the truck right now." And like, you know, we go there, they cut up watermelon. They had red watermelon, they had like yellow watermelon.
Yellow's really
So
good too.
fresh.
Bro,
Yeah,
it was
so
so
fresh,
fresh.
so
It was,
fresh.
and it was warm, like not warm, but like it's watermelon that was out. It wasn't on
Yeah.
ice, but he starts cutting it, and we're eating it there. Like, yo, this is the best thing in the world.
So good.
So when we got in the car and we kept driving, I'm like, bro, that's how food is meant to be sold. I'm like, years ago, like before there were stores, like now, you need a permit for this. You need a permit for that. Back in the day, farmers, people that were like selling food, they would be in the middle of the street. All right, you got tomatoes and basil. I got I got eggs. I'll trade you eggs.
Some of the old towns in Italy, like our town where we're from, they have flea markets on a daily basis, and they sell different types of produce and food.
Smells good in here.
You know what time it is. We got Anthony's Coal-Fired Pizza.
And wings.
Of course, the wings.
The best.
The best.
Guys, listen, we got something really special for you.
By now, you all know Anthony's Coal-Fired Pizza has the freshest ingredients. Their coal-fired pizza is absolutely amazing. And they got the pecorino romano grated in-house, Gucci.
And the good news is they're located all over the Northeast and Florida. So when you use code GUI15, you get a little discount. Who doesn't like a little discount, right?
Nice. I'll take another pizza to go, please.
All right, well, this one's mine.
I
I'll
guess.
order one more for you.
Only valid for acfp.com online pickup, acfp.com online delivery, ACFP mobile app orders. Guests must enter promo code at checkout to receive discount. Promo code GUI15.
Offer valid starting July 1st. Available at all Anthony's Coal-Fired Pizza locations. Cannot be combined with any other offer or Anthony's Reward. Not available for catering, phone orders, dine-in, or third-party delivery orders.
It's amazing.
And that's what I was...
Well, this city Ganji, there's no big store. So every day, everyone walks to the top of the hill, which is the only place you can really get a decent-sized vehicle. And the truck pulls up. One day it's all your produce.
Yep.
The next day it's all your dairy. The next day it's all your meats. And it just like, and everybody walks up the hill, gets what they need.
Right.
And that's it. There's only 6,000 people in the whole city. So that serves them.
That's the way food is meant to be, like,
fresh.
yeah, like
100% fresh.
Not
you're supposed
sent
to get
from
it.
An avocado from California comes all the way over to Pennsylvania. It's never going to be good by then.
How fresh is that? I mean,
Yeah.
let's think about
Well,
it.
yeah, because you got to pump it up with pesticides or whatever to keep it like that.
And you got to
unless-
pick it before it's ready and let it hope that it ripens properly on the truck, which they're not meant to ripen on a truck.
No, of course not.
And we're talking about produce right now. This is fire, right? Like, this is nice. But this is why these little towns in Italy, when you go there, you can literally slice a tomato, put a little olive oil and salt,
Eat it right there.
put on a piece of bread, and you're like, this is the best tasting thing I've ever had. And this is why.
They are the
because-
best tomatoes. They're homegrown.
But it's made from not pumped
Natural.
up. Yeah, it's natural.
natural. Yeah, absolutely.
I gotta say, you guys both have great color. I'm
Yeah.
actually really jealous right now.
Well, you're going to catch up when you're in
Who's
Italy.
darker, you think? Lisa or...
I think Lisa's dark.
Yeah, I probably going to say. And also, I'm going to get a full day tomorrow. I'll be at the pool tomorrow from at least 11 to 8, maybe 11 to 9. I got a big day planned of doing nothing.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a big
You
plan.
you have to spray oil or...
I don't really do anything. I mean, once in a while to make my neighbors happy, I'll put on a little sunscreen. Like, I'll just spray a little bit on.
What do you mean by
like,
make them happy?
well, everyone's like, you should put a little sunscreen on. It's so much sun. So I'm like, okay, every once in a while, just to be nice.
Yes,
Spray
yeah.
it on. But then I'm going to go get in a raft on the pool and it's going to come off anyway.
That's the
You
real
know, but I
Sicilian
do
skin
put on
right
my
there.
face. That is the one thing. Women will always protect their face.
Yeah.
50 on my face, I reapply the whole day, but nothing on my body.
Yeah, because I always hear women talk like when they get a lot of color, like, oh, now I got to do a face mask. And
Well, and also, like, your skin doesn't match your body anymore, so you have to tint your makeup differently and blend it together. It's a little bit more work.
see,
but it's
stuff
worth
we don't
it.
got to worry
Stuff
about.
we don't have to worry about.
And I think I'm probably the person that needs to like match the most.
Yeah, but you
Because-
get burnt in the sun.
Yeah,
Exact-
you
like-
need sunscreen.
I
You
do
need
though. I
sunscreen,
put it
yeah.
though.
You need
Like
to,
SP 500 or something.
Yeah, I put SP 75 Sport, but I still get
I like how you have this sport. Does it make
Yeah.
you feel like you're more athletic?
Motorsport.
Like, hey, you know what?
No,
I'm
be-
sporty.
No, you know,
I'm buy the sport one.
I'll explain why. Because when I'm outside and it's hot, I'm sweating.
Right.
So it's like I'm full-born athlete.
Okay.
know, like-
now we know. So everyone out there, when you sweat, you are sporty.
Yeah, no, you need sporty sunscreen
You heard
for
it here
sure.
first.
But yeah, I never do any of that stuff. I just
I also wear a hat. Always.
Yeah.
A big hat, yeah.
one of those big ones,
Yeah, always.
like the Robin Hood one, or
Like a big,
like
you
the
know, big
brunch
sun
one, or
hat,
the
like a
sun.
nice
Classy,
big
that's-
sun hat. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
classy.
We can't pull that off.
No, you can't.
No,
I'll wear a
we
bucket.
can't pull that off.
A bucket will, you need to protect that dome,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And I never do anything like that, like facials or anything. So the skin's paying the price right now. It's hurting.
You're young.
I hate that when I get really like color like that, people say I have the raccoon eyes. Like, they'll be like, you know, because like if you wear sunglasses and
yeah,
get the
yeah. Of course.
Because it didn't even out. The color didn't even out.
there's two types of Italians. Ones that are tan like you guys, and then
It's true.
yeah.
And there's also two types of people. ones that think that's a Juan and ones that think that's a Peppa.
Yeah.
So do we divide the people in the world? Should we just line up the world right now? Because we're about to have a divide. It's an election year.
Oh, yeah.
We just divide everybody up this easily. Instead of don't vote. You know what I mean? We're going to know who you are about what you think this is. And we just stand there and we divide.
I couldn't
Peppa
agree
people,
more.
Juan people.
Yeah. So, Lisa, you asked me a question how I was growing up with strict parents. I'm going to ask you that.
Well, I mean, there's so
Did you?
many. Yes. My dad especially. And also my dad's Italian family. Because there's so many cultural things in the Italian family that people don't realize. Like, we weren't to dye our hair. You know, like if you're an Italian and you go blonde, that's awful. You know what I mean? And that was a big thing. Don't dye or change your hair. Right. Always long hair. Always long hair.
Always long
if
hair.
the sun lightens it, it's okay. But then there's a time where it gets too late and your parents would say to you, you need to get your hair fixed because you don't look Italian. Makeup was a big thing. Makeup was a really big thing. Italians don't want their daughter wearing makeup till a certain age. I used to go to the bus stop every day and put all my makeup on. And then on the bus home, take all my makeup off.
It's a lot of work.
It was, but it was worth it because I was getting away with something.
Yeah.
This was really about me forming my personality.
Right.
But, you know, those things like manners, in the Italian culture, no one is going to pick you up at your house without your parents fucking looking them in the eye.
Absolutely.
And
it's
looking,
disrespectful, like if you're gonna pick someone up that you don't, and like the parents see you.
if you don't get out of the car, my dad would be like, drive
Well,
on, drive
now-
on. Nope, you're not getting in the car. Drive on.
Nowadays, it's not like this though.
It's so sad, but it's
not
true.
like that at all.
It's not, but in a way, in a real Italian family, sometimes it is.
Yeah, it is. It is. I try like
I think it's still important to make eye contact with who is going to be around your children.
Oh, of course.
I do. I think that's because I think as a parent, you've got a sixth sense. Like, do you trust this kid or not? You still got to let it happen, but you can have your eye a little closer to the prize, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you follow them.
yeah.
Put an air tag on his car. Whatever you got to do. As a parent, I would be doing all of that
You
shit.
get notifications for that shit.
I
now.
would be getting all-
AirTag following you now. Like whenever I'm traveling with someone, like let's say someone from like when Guaya was in town.
Right.
I don't know who it was, like maybe his photographer or whatever. But whenever we get in the car, AirTag has been following you since this time, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So I always wondered like if you
I
could
would be
get
doing
away
all
with
that shit with my kids.
Really?
How old are yours now?
They're gonna be 9. in
Okay,
January.
tell me you're not going to do that when they're teenagers.
Yeah. Their mom has their location, so
I think that's the best
Bro,
thing
I
about
have my
phones.
son's
For
10
their
years old. I have
phone.
his
10?
location. Yeah.
we're gonna put a chip in them soon. Just follow them around.
You're so good.
Good.
My
I'm
parents-
glad
Yeah, the
you're
rainbow
enjoying
cookie
it.
there.
This brings. What about you? What were your things your parents were strict about?
I'm gonna be honest here. My parents were not strict.
Oh, what about things like making your bed and cleaning your room and all
Oh,
that? Chores. I mean, Saturdays.
I probably shouldn't admit
we
this
pretty
because
much
not
ripped
gonna.
everything off the shelf and had to wipe down walls in the Italian family. Wiped down the walls.
I probably shouldn't admit this because that could give me brownie points. But
Oh, what happened?
my mom would make my bed and everything. Like, yes,
So Sabino, you're trying to say you're a mama's boy?
She's
I am
so
a mama's boy, but like, you know, I'm not. You know, I'm not making my bed these days. Bed.
Still?
People roast me. Yeah.
Well, listen. There's an old Italian saying about making your bed, and I always make my bed since I was a little kid.
Tell me what it is, because I'm probably gonna know it.
It's in the Napoletan dialect. Fai o liete perché tu non sai chi ha spiet.
How you doing?
Which basically means make your bed because you don't know who you're gonna expect to come in the room.
How you doing? I'm gonna make my bed. No,
So I always made my bed.
the only
So let's
thing
see.
about me. How about this?
So that's not the pitch a parent would give a daughter, by the way.
no, not a daughter.
Sweetheart, make your bed because you know. No, but
Or another one simple like making your bed is like scuba a casa perché tu non sai chi tras, which basically means sweep your house.
Joe, did you
because-
do these?
No, I didn't do these yet.
Okay, go ahead.
But these
Finish.
are things that just popped into my head. Sweep your house because you don't know who's going to come inside, who you're going to expect over. Company. So that's a little bit better. So that's
These
the
old
first thing I
Italian sayings are the best, by the way.
Us
Oh, I
was
got 'em all.
things like don't leave dishes in the sink because if you die in a car accident, you're gonna be dead with dishes in your sink. Have you
did. I never
that?
heard that one, but since
And by the way,
Come
today,
si
I
dice
put
in Napolitan.
there was a couple dishes in the sink this morning when I was leaving to come here,
Right.
and I was like, "You better put them in the fucking dishwasher."
I
or this is the way you die."
tazza sport che si fa morto. you know?
yeah.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
Really, but just strict on those types of things, and also having a big family. I had 35 first cousins.
Wow. Yeah.
I think what suffocated me was I really didn't have time to make my own friends. Every weekend you're going to a wedding.
Family, yeah.
All week you're going to wakes and funerals and viewings, and somebody's dying, having a baby, getting married, and it's a lot. And
It is
like
a lot.
I felt
It
like
is a
I was
lot.
living on a cruise ship, and I couldn't get away from these people. I'm like, I need to get out of this fucking small town. I knew it, but I'm only one of two of three are cousins that moved.
What was the name of the town in PA?
Easton.
Easton,
Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Okay.
If you remember,
it-
Nazareth, Pennsylvania is a very close city. That's where the Mario Andretti and
Correct.
and that. Okay, so
Yeah.
the Andrettis were big Italians
Right,
in our
right, of
community.
course.
Yeah, owned horse stables, car washes. So the Andrettis were a part of that. as well.
Pennsylvania had a big Italian population.
Huge.
So funny. Was there a lot of Joe Gambinos in that part of Pennsylvania?
Oh yeah, for sure. They owned, the bars, some restaurants. Then the strip clubs always the
Always the strip
Always
clubs.
the strip
because
clubs.
why not? It is the perfect place to launder money.
Yeah.
It is. Because there's a lot of money coming in.
Allegedly.
I think a casino's actually better, but
Yeah, but casinos got more watchdogs on you.
you do.
The strip club, you just pay a couple cops off, you're fine. There's no government, there's no nothing, really, Back in the good old
Lisa
days.
knows her way around stuff.
Well, I've been watching this for a long time.
Well, listen, I used to work at a strip club as a bouncer, and I saw some stuff there.
Which club?
Money wise, it was called.
Are you allowed to talk about it, Joe? or no?
It was called. They're not there no more anyway. So it was called Infinities
Okay.
in Long Island City, and the owner used to come down the stairs with garbage bags. He goes,
Of
"Joe,
money.
Yeah, put this in the car."
Yep.
I said, "Why is this guy making me throw garbage in the car?" He goes, "Sure, that's not fucking garbage. That's money." Oh, okay.
Get it out of
So
there.
it was
Yep.
in garbage bags, mind you.
I've seen it.
There's no cash flow like that anymore, though.
I know. It's really, it was a
You gotta
great,
give your
that,
3% to the credit card companies now.
Yeah, exactly.
that was an era, the 90s, it was around the 90s, 2000s.
Yeah.
The 90s were such a cash era in that
It's
space.
totally different. It was totally different now. No, nobody carries cash.
Yeah, Joe, I was just gonna ask you, do you love anything more than cash?
I only do it with cash.
I love cash as well.
You know?
And it's the hardest thing about not stripping anymore is not having cash thrown at me all the time.
Wait, you were a stripper?
For many years. I mean,
Really?
almost 30 years. I started out dancing in Pennsylvania before I even got in the business.
Oh,
That's how I got in the
So
business.
I was
Wow.
gonna ask, was it hard with a strict family to start doing the work you
I
were-
was already on my own before I started doing any of this work. So, and I didn't have a connection with my family, and I don't have a connection with my family now. So there's that. But yeah, it's not their favorite thing for sure. There's no doubt about that. But cash is just different. Here's what's funny. The other day I paid for something with cash at a Dwayne Reed, and it fucked up the kid, right? He did not
sure.
know what to do.
I'm sure.
And it was like a pack of gum or something, right? And I like a 10. Mom, I'm going to put this on my credit card for fucking $2-3. I like my statement to have as few transactions as possible. It's an old school Italian thing. You use your credit card. for necessities.
100%.
Right? So I give him the 10, and I could tell, oh man, this is going to take a minute. It took him, and mind you, it's telling him
tells
how
him.
much change to give me, but it was the counting.
It's just a really bad cashier.
It was the counting out problem that he had to keep doing the change again. I'm like, this motherfucker's never touched a fucking dollar.
That's the problem.
It's credit cards only. Yeah.
That's the problem.
No, I love cash though, but the shift of handling cash has changed now. Like I would say that what you just said, like
Well, there's a lot of places that don't take it. Broadway shows don't take cash.
Yeah.
MSG doesn't take cash.
right.
Yeah.
All these places are cashless.
Yeah.
And so you can't even tip somebody cash, which I think sucks tipping
Yeah.
people on a credit card.
I just think
100%.
the
I always put cash.
Always put cash. I'll put the
I
card.
put that line. I
Yep,
put right
me
cash,
too,
and I always
me
put
too.
cash.
Always. I want you to get it today.
Yeah.
Not
of
in
course.
2 weeks.
Exactly.
Yeah. I want it untaxed for you. I want you to get all of it.
Because they tax it. If you put it on a credit card, they're taxing it.
I know.
I just think now, me personally, when it's about cash, you go to that $2 thing with the credit card. I became that person that puts that because whatever's cash, I want to have, in the shoebox. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
All right.
But then you have nothing to do with it. You're like, all of a sudden, what are you going to do with all this cash?
Oh, I find something to do with it.
I agree. There's a lot of places that offer a lot of discount for
Yeah?
cash as well. So
Still?
fuck yeah.
Only like contractors.
Oh, the fucking jewelers? Are you kidding
jewelers,
me?
jewelers.
Come on. You
All right,
walk into a
tell me a
jewelry
price
store
and I'll
with a
say-
fucking thing of cash?
I said, okay, what about?
But that's what I'm
paying
saying.
you
So,
cash?
so charge the money with the gum. You know what I mean?
Nah,
The
I
cash-
just
doesn't
like
make
it
sense.
just doesn't make sense. Like there's just some things I just don't do, and also like we have become too reliant on that tool, and I think it's still important for us to understand the value of money. And
100%.
cash makes you think a little bit differently. You can put a ton of shit on a credit card in a day, but if you have to count out your cash, you might second guess
Yes.
what you're buying. You know?
Joe, if I had 20K, right?
Okay.
Cash, could you make it 22?
Easy.
What do you buy?
How long will it take you?
That's very long.
Yeah? For real?
Yeah, for real.
But you don't need it because you got your own 20K. But could you do it for me?
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
right.
We'll talk about it.
I was just curious.
We'll talk about it.
You got to make your money work for you.
Yeah.
What else? Growing up Italian, what does it mean to you? Like when you hear the name Growing Up Italian, and
It means
it's our second time hanging out, you know?
food, family, and gatherings, right? And so even though I don't have a connection with my family, I've really put that together in my personal life with my friends. So my friends know that I'm always cooking. I always have food. They come over anytime. I can always make something. My building, all of my neighbors and I, we spend time. We'll do the pool. We have a big grill. We rent the grill downstairs. And then we all bring food down. Then we bring it back up to the pool. Like everybody's eating all day. We're just, somebody's bringing a cheese plate up. I'm bringing a fruit bowl up. We're all doing this. So it just reminds me of that part of life. And also growing up Italian, we didn't talk about the outside world in our homes.
Crispy, crunchy, savory, and sweet. Order what you want on Uber Eats.
Listen, guys, from now till the end of the year, December 31st, on the Uber Eats app, you go to Anthony and Son Panini shop, and you get a nice $25 off.
When you use the code Panini.
You got to use the code Panini.
Terms apply. See app for details.
Man, I could really go for a drink or something.
Me too. What are you in the mood for?
I don't know, an espresso martini, something. What you got?
Say no more. Born in the north end of Boston, Brico Restaurant. It's a ready-made espresso martini. All you have to do is chill and serve.
Shake, serve, and drink that out of the comfort of your own home.
Salute.
We didn't talk about
Everything was
the
Italian.
news. You talked about the fucking neighbors
Yeah,
who you
you
saw
talked
at
about
church.
everybody else.
Everybody
you
else,
talked
everybody
about
else.
everybody else, but you talked about your plants, and also the women talked in the kitchen and the men sat in the garage or in another room because they were always playing cards, right? That was just how I grew up. So the women would talk about
You just
their
hit a chord
things.
with Joe right now.
Yeah, but it's real.
Very true.
And so like just that, I think we as Americans worry way too much.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we're fed this energy because personally, I believe that this is all the news's pursuit to get everybody on medication. They want the whole world to have anxiety. So they're stressing us out all the time. But if you, the Italian cultures, they just don't fuck with that in their homes. Like, it's like, hey, we have this beautiful home. We have this beautiful food. We have people with us. Why does any of what's happening out there matter?
Right.
And growing up with that has made it easier for me to live a life where I can disconnect. I have people that are just in such turmoil, and I'm like, you're allowing yourself to be in that turmoil.
That's it. And
I've
it
handled my
takes over their life.
responsibilities for the week. I'm going to go fuck off and have some food with my friends and not give a fuck what time it is and not check the news app. It's fucking Saturday. Like, how we control our land. It just really taught me a way to live. And also, like, we take care of our shit, and I love it. Like, I love living really clean. I did my Saturday morning. I did my sheets, changed my duvet cover today.
I was going to ask if you made
All
your
my
beds this
shit.
morning.
Of course, I make my bed every morning.
Every morning.
Every morning. I mean, I have a housekeeper every other week, but like we like to clean. I like to have my shit all set up in my refrigerator. I like to order my groceries. Like, I like to live. And
You organize your refrigerator?
my refrigerator is, to some people, my friends make fun of it, a little OCD. But I
Can
like
you
it
explain
organized.
like
Well,
the layout?
I wash all of my fruits and vegetables. I soak them all in baking soda and a little vinegar. Because even if it says there's no pesticides, I don't love it. And you'll see stuff fizz off of there and come up, and little
serious?
bugs get killed by. Wow. So then I clean all of that, and I put it all in ball mason jars.
I feel like I need a wife like this that'll hold it down, you know?
And the ball
hard to
mason
find.
jars will
Nice.
keep your fruits and vegetables fresh for up to 2 weeks. So once everything's lined up in there, you'll see all my fruits, all my vegetables. And if I want to make a fruit salad or a salad, all
That's
I
right
gotta
there,
do
goes
is
up in
dump
there.
everything in. I want to do a
awesome.
little tray of something. All my waters are lined up. Everything is organized, and it's a very
The
healthy
fruits are in
fridge.
the-
Yeah, the fruits
yeah.
are all in there. Everything that isn't cut. Then I always have a couple of things like pre-made, like some tofu that I make ahead of time, so I can make.
Joe,
something
you
in
ever
the
tried
fridge.
tofu?
I did.
Yeah?
Not a fan
Good
of it.
source
How is
of
it?
protein.
I'm not a fan of it.
It's good in the air fryer because it changes the texture. But I just think Italian women, and when my friends are over, one of the things they'll say when they're new in my space, let me help. I say, you never offer to help an Italian woman.
Yeah.
This is what we love to do. This
Help
is our
clean-
love
help- just help
language.
clean up.
Our love language is waiting on you. Our love language is feeding you. Our love language is knowing that when you're in our home, you are not worried about nothing.
That's right.
And
This is energy right
Yes,
here.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, you have any like sisters or no?
no sisters. But it's real. That's what
But
I
we
was
also
raised
come
with.
from a different era. Sabina's a little younger than us. From a different era that was common knowledge.
Of
They did
course.
it. Now it's a little different.
I
Now
remember
it's-
growing up and knowing that when we were going to eat at one of my aunts or relative's house that my dad would always say, like, you do not ask if you can help with the dishes. As soon as we're done eating, you start helping with the dishes.
Yeah.
And it wasn't my brother. It was me. It was only the women in the kitchen. It was very, the 70s were different. But it wasn't.
Isn't that too much to put gender roles on everything?
It was, but you know what? That was normal in the Italian culture. It
I
didn't
guess
bother me. Like,
nowadays,
I wasn't.
Nowadays, the guys should be cleaning the dishes.
I wasn't offended. I also remember something. This was a different era when none of my aunts worked.
Right.
They were homemakers.
Right.
This is what their job was, to be homemakers, and they loved that role. They were. Some of my aunts didn't drive.
Honestly, I'm ready to be like a house husband. I think it's time we change.
So you need a wealthy wife.
Yeah, I'm looking for one. Where does somebody find a wealthy wife?
Well, I don't know. We got to find there's got to be like is there
Sugarmama.com?
Because there's sugar daddies.
Yeah,
That's a real thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, things are different. Like, if
I think
back in the
that
day,
maybe-
women
maybe
didn't
women
work,
are-
so now we should switch the gears a little bit, no?
I don't think I could ever stay home. I don't care if she was a billionaire.
Joe, you could just be a full-time, how you doing content creator.
Yeah, but I
It'd
don't.
be very
I don't
easy
see
for you.
myself folding clothes and doing laundry, doing dishes, and being a household husband. Like
I can't do that. I can't do that stuff either.
I don't
but
see it. So then you're going to be a horrible fucking house husband. I mean, what the fuck you signing up for
There's
a job you
horrible-
already suck at? Okay.
There's horrible housewives out there.
What are you going to do? Find a housekeeper that your wife doesn't know you have that's cleaning the house
Yeah.
for you on your money? What are you doing?
It's like if you say, "Oh, I'm going to cook for you," and then you order takeout and you put it in the pans, warm it up a little bit.
Right.
Do you know, I even look at like young content creators, like their homes, like their
Mm-hmm.
apartments and their room, and I'm mortified that they can do a selfie with their bed not made and shit all over the floor. I'm like, you are not Italian.
I feel like she's
Because
been,
if you walked out of your house and there was clothes on your floor,
God.
I'd be dragged back up the
I
stairs by
feel,
my hair.
I feel like she's been at my house. I have
see
clothes
it.
all over the place.
I want to comment on everyone's photos. Like, can you please clean your room before you shoot content?
Yeah, really.
I organize my shit. I make sure nothing's plugged in. There's no weird cord. And if there is, I'll delete it. I'll edit it out. Like, I'm weird like that.
Really?
Forensic photographer.
Do you use Photoshop a lot?
I use Photoshop, but there's so many great apps now. If you just want to, Bizart is a great app for the phone. Where, like, let's say I'm shooting something in the city and there's a trash can.
Right.
I could just highlight that trash can and boom, it deletes it.
Done. What's it called?
Bizart.
Bizarre.
This is why she gets a lot of likes. She looks at this little, like.
Listen, I'm still new to all this.
It's fun. Like,
I'm
you're
learning-
making something
I'm learning as I
aesthetically
go.
pleasing, and you don't want to not do a photo because there's an ugly exit sign or something. Like,
Right.
years ago, we would say, oh, that would have been a great photo, but that's there. But now when somebody says to me, oh, that photo, I'm like, I'll Bizart that shit. Yes, let's do that
Let's
photo.
bizarre it.
So, Lisa, have you ever seen Joe's content?
No, I don't think so. I don't follow you yet, do I?
Well, after today, you
I
will,
will.
and then and you'll let me know what do you think.
Okay.
How's Joe's vibe
Amazing.
so far?
Amazing.
Thank you.
He looks
We're
like a guy, right?
We're going to meet at Rocco's restaurant while you're away.
It's a date.
We'll send you content.
That's
a
crazy.
We'll send you,
How do I
you
get
know
kicked out of
We'll
this?
FaceTime. Well, you're gone.
He's just
You
strong
do-
arm me too?
Because now I'm going to be chasing this El Sabuco for the next, I can't wait till you get back.
We'll make it
we go-
official
we
because
go
when Rocco,
tonight, no problem.
When
What
Rocco
do you
sees
mean?
this, Rocco reservations.
Osabuco.
Also,
A lot of it.
Osabuco.
It's already done. If he sees
I just
this,
got
it's already
out
done.
muscled. This is
I'm really
wild.
sorry.
Can we arm wrestle for it at least? Like, give me a chance?
You give it a shot.
We could do
We can
push-ups
set up
for it?
some sort of combine outside.
I'm so down.
Remember, though,
we'll do a triathlon.
He has the sport on his sunscreen, so I think he's got the edge.
He's a sport. He's a sport.
He's a sport. We could do like 3 different. All right, what would be the least an Olympics?
I think we'd have to do like a relay race, maybe a pull-up or 2, and maybe like push-ups and sit-ups.
That's fair.
I'm already lost. I think he's gonna beat me.
No. We got. All right. How about? Listen, if we're gonna make it,
We're gonna
for
modify
you,
it. We're gonna modify it.
It's for you, so it should be who could count cash faster.
I can count
like
cash
you,
faster.
Well,
You wanna
between
give
me
me a
and him,
stack
like
right now?
you put a
Oh.
stack of money like all messed up, and whoever could count it quicker,
I have to
and
make
then that
it
would be
facing
one
all
thing,
one way
like
first.
you gotta give
What's that?
Joe.
Are you gonna make it facing all one way?
Always,
First, though?
always.
I might lose with that one because I could count it quick, but I could tell Joe when he counts it, he'll flip the 20.
We have to.
Like people that count money really well, like if you see my dad count money, he'll be like this, and then if like a bill's backwards while he's counting it, he
Yeah,
does that
easy.
and then keeps it going. Of
course.
That's fire. You could
Yeah.
do it, Joe.
Okay.
Joe, why do you always have 5,000
And I love it.
on
The
you?
rubber band.
Oh, they always
He just-
facing.
he just
They always
called me
facing.
out.
Always
They
facing the
always
same way.
facing.
Always.
the same
Pig,
way.
we got that on camera,
Always. Got to be facing the same way.
and you just like
And a
have
rubber
the
band is
scuttle
always
there.
the way to go.
I always keep cash on
Not
me.
a
Are you a wallet guy or no?
I have a wallet, but I don't keep cash in my wallet.
And I
You-
think
and you
that's so smart. And by the way, that's how my dad did it too. But that's so smart because you're not going to lose both things. If somebody grabs your wallet, if you take out your wallet, no, cash is separate.
I never.
You know what a lot of old school people say, that in their wallet they just put like $20, and then if somebody wants it, you have just like an ID and whatever.
Right.
I don't want to sit at the DMV. So the ID is as valuable as any amount of money. I'm fucking killing the person that wants my wallet. Sorry.
The ID's worth. How much you think an ID is worth in that situation? Would you rather give up $5,000
to
or an
lose
ID?
an entire day to productivity to go sit at a refugee camp that we call the DMV? Are you fucking kidding me right now?
When was the last time you sat in the DMV?
Bullshit. The
It
DMV
is
sucks.
horrible.
You can't get an appointment right now for like 6 months.
So I just went to AAA the other day because
So old school. They still do the DMV.
So what happened is to rent a car in Italy, you need an international license. So AAA does it for like $20. Basically, they were telling me like this ID 2025 no good.
Oh, because you don't have the global the new pass. The
Yeah,
new thing.
So you like everybody needs to get new ID. So they're like, you could do it here if you're a AAA member. So I was like,
that makes it worth having AAA because
It really does. Yeah.
DMV is a.
It's a nightmare.
I'll tell you my DMV story. When I come here to New York and I have to switch my California driver's license to New York, I go to the DMV, and I get this girl. Right when I get in front of her, I'm like, fuck. Like, this girl hates me.
You already know it.
I already know it. She hates her job. She's fucking mean. And it just so happens behind everybody, there's the eye chart, but she's sitting in front of a door. So the door to go to like the break area is right there. Now, I do wear glasses, but I've never had, my eyes are not bad enough to not be able to see the eye chart. So I've never had to have them on my driver's license, which you don't want. Because you don't want to always have to have them with you in case you get pulled over or what have you. So her thing is right there. So she says to me, it's time for you to do the eye test. I'm like, okay, well, can I walk over to this side so I can see the thing? She's like, oh, are you saying you can't see it? She marks corrective lenses.
no.
Boom, I'm out the door. This bitch is like, so now, just 3 months ago, my driver's license expiring. Do you know that you have to go and get another eye exam each time before they'll let you renew your driver? So I'm like so excited. I'm going to be diligent. It comes to me. I'm going to fill it out online. Oh, my business manager is going to be so happy. I'm doing all my shit. Then it's like, stop, must go get eye exam. I go to the eye exam. I tell my woman. She's like, oh, DMV. I see this all the time. She gives me a letter to reverse the thing on my driver's license, but I still have to have it on my driver's license for this next like 4 years.
All because of one miserable person.
Fucking bitch, man.
Yeah.
I wanted to walk out.
Why is it always you? Like,
You just know certain girls or certain people. Like, it just happens to everybody. Like, you get sense when somebody's not vibing with you.
I think
And
this is a
I always go to
perfect-
DMV looking nice too, because it's gonna be your photo, you know.
I
And I'm
think
like,
it's a
oh,
perfect
sure.
segue to a question.
Yes.
How does Lisa Ann deal with haters?
Man, I've got one right now that's on me hot. I mean, hot. This guy's costing me fucking 2 hours a day of deleting his fucking psycho bullshit. And I actually met him in person 2 weeks ago. And from me not obliging when he said that we needed to hang out outside of Exotica, he is now on attack that I am a terrorist, that I am racist, that I hate people, and all of this. So what he's been doing is I was doing YouTube lives for my podcast. I had to stop doing it because of him. He comes in the room with like 100 YouTube screen names like ready. And he just starts, you're a fucking piece of shit. Your face looks like a toilet. Like all this just like,
And you know who it is?
I know who it is.
Where does he live?
He lives in Florida. And I had to get his address because he put a threatening message on Cameo that he should have brought a weapon to take me home
Oh, Giuseppe.
to the event. So now he's mentioning weapons. This fucking guy. So he's turned from love to hate.
Okay.
But the hate thing is so real. And it's taken me a long time to get where I am right now with understanding it.
So how you protect yourself in that situation?
Well, let's do the hate thing first. I now look at it like, okay, this is a you problem. I'm not going to engage. If you waste your time engaging with a hater, then you didn't talk to somebody that's worth it. And about 3 years ago for New Year's Eve, I decided one of my resolutions would be to just not troll trolls and not clap back. Right. And since I stopped doing it, I never wanted to go back doing it. Yeah, because you know what? Now it's just so much better to be like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to act like I don't even see you. Because all you're trying to do is be seen. And I'm not going to feed into that. Because then when you do feed into it, they're like, oh, I was just trying to get your attention. And now I want you to die. And your family to die as well. Yeah. So how do I protect myself with this? So I have this chain of command that I let the people in my life know. The people that are most important to me, business manager, agent, security, building. So embarrassing having to go to my building all the time. Like I have another situation. But the stalker thing is so incredibly real. And it's something that I don't think we're talking about enough as we're glamorizing sex work so much. Like, look, I was proud to be in sex work before we called it sex work. But once we called it sex work, I was like, this is fucking lame. And now that everybody's doing it, it's just basic. Who the fuck cares? It's not even special anymore. It used to be taboo. It used to be great.
Used to be, yeah.
But I don't think these articles have started to reach out yet of the stalkers.
Yeah.
The people that form a
The shit you guys gotta deal with.
parasocial relationship with you where they're so obsessed with you, so in love with you. And because of this guy, I've
seen a little glimpse of that from
some of the people.
yeah from last time.
Because of this guy, I just decided that this would be my last year doing exoticas and doing experiences in the adult world. Even though I don't want to remove myself, I just feel that's where I'm putting myself at the most risk.
We're very excited to announce a long-term partnership with the Soto Gastronomia out from Australia. These guys got a really, really interesting restaurant concept where all their profits go to all these Italian charities.
DeSoto has a very interesting story. So they're first generation Italian Australians.
They're basically us in Australia.
DeSoto was created in their parents' and grandparents' honor so that they can pay their legacy forward. 100% of their proceeds goes to people in need, charities, and the arts.
DeSoto will be supporting us this year, so you know the content's going to be even better.
Bro, and who knows? Maybe at some point we're going to have to take a trip down under, huh?
I was always curious how the Italian Australians made food.
It's time we find out.
Yeah.
And with incels and with these guys, like, you don't know what they're thinking. And my security will always be like, you know, you're too nice, you're being too nice. I'm like, yo, the guy's one sandwich short of a picnic. We don't know if he's going to come back strapped with bombs. You just have to think the worst, because if you don't, you could be prodding at someone that is very, very violent. But you know,
He's gonna see this and come after me, so I'm not.
there was a
gonna give him too much.
podcaster and her
Let him
husband.
come after me.
There was a podcaster.
Go
and her
after
husband.
Joe, all right? Listen, I have nothing to do with this. Go after Joe.
There was a podcaster and her husband killed by a fan a year or so ago.
Oh my God.
And she had, you know, she had been letting the police know. He was a truck driver. He was following them, and he got into the house and killed them both. Her mom was staying there as well, and her mom was able to get out of the house. But like, it's real, and I don't think people think about it. I love living in my building because there's so much security.
Yeah. You need
And
that. Yeah.
and also, I'm right across from a police department.
Good.
Like, these were things that were really important to me. Being by a police department, living where there's security, and also, I've never felt so insulated because I have so many friends in my building. I feel like at any time, if I was scared, I could
have
go and
someone to
sleep
go
in
to.
somebody else's apartment.
That's good.
Or
That's good,
call
yeah.
somebody, and so that feels really good too. But it is like, there's a lot of weirdos out there, and they form a real relationship with people online.
Yeah. That's so weird.
In their
but
mind.
true.
In their mind.
It's called a parasocial relationship. There's actually a term for it now. It's when someone becomes obsessed and spends so much time invested in this person's life that they feel like they know you so well. And you know what? When they're walking towards you, you can feel the energy. You know who they are.
Yeah.
There's a difference between a fan that's just cool and you're like, hey, great to meet you. This is fun. And then there's the guy that's just like looking at you and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy wants to bury me in his basement.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's one of
That's
those.
that's
how-
so crazy.
do
uncomfortable,
you guys get haters as well?
Yeah.
And how do you handle it? You delete messages, right? On Instagram, I let
No,
you.
I never delete comments or anything like that.
Oh, I do.
I like people when people DM me like weird stuff once in a while. I can't see that because it'll drive me nuts.
I don't
because
check
I
those.
want to clap back so bad. But a mutual friend of ours, Static, you know, I hung out with him so many times, and he's one of my mentors. Like one time we were talking about something. I remember like playing him a song that I hated, and I'm like, "Look how bad this is." And he like told me, he's like, "If you hate it, you don't like it. Spend your time showing people stuff you like." Instead of
Aw,
showing
that was
things
such
you hate, you know.
Great advice.
And that's how I kind of like approach like everything I do is like I try to put things I like out there, you know, and never a negative thing, you know.
I agree.
Because-
No, I live that life.
You
It's
know
the
what I mean?
most important thing. You should be showing love to the things that you love. You should be promoting the things that you love, and you know. But like, you'll have what we call hate followers. You have people that follow you only because they hate you.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm writing a new book right now, and I'm writing about who I think my readers will be. And I wrote the greatest page on my hate readers. You know, I'm
Nice.
just hate readers are real. I would never do it. I would never read something because I hate it. I would just read
Yeah,
something
it's a
I
waste
like.
of time. It's a
Yeah,
waste of time.
it is a waste of time.
waste of time.
And it's bad for your energy.
Of course it is. It lowers your vibration.
Yeah.
Like I can't check. So I manage my OnlyFans page. It's my library of all of my content, my years in the business, this and that. I can't check it in the morning. I will not check those messages in the morning. It is the most low vibration thing I could do to ever start my day. Nothing could prepare you for those messages.
I also learned not.
Nothing.
I learned recently not to talk bad about people either.
Oh, of course. Gossip's the enemy of everything.
Yeah.
Gossip deflects all of the goodness that you've been doing and
Yeah.
bounces bad shit back to you. Gossip
Yeah.
is evil.
Yeah.
And gossip is also another really low frequency activity.
Yeah. I literally probably 6 months no gossip.
That's
I've
fantastic.
been clean for 6 months.
It's
And
very,
for an Italian, sometimes that's very hard to do.
Joe,
I
have you
was
heard me
just
go-
going to
have
say,
you-
as an
have-
Italian, that's so difficult because
very
what else are
hard
we
to do.
talking about?
Joe, have you heard me gossip in the
No,
last 6
no, I haven't really heard.
What would you gossip about?
Well, just like, Joe, did you see that thing? Like,
But that's like a thing.
instead, when Joe came today, I'm like, Joe, listen to the guy that was there yesterday singing. This is the song he did. You know, like,
Yeah.
it just, I try to put out different energy out there because I feel like in this space I'm in, like, it needs me to be that.
Of course, we all
know what I
need
mean?
to be that.
Because if Sabino talks bad about somebody, it's getting back that I said.
Yeah, and it's going to get back like a game of telephone where it's twisted 10,000 ways.
Yeah,
and it's
exactly.
going to mean that you said and something even worse than you would have ever said.
Exactly.
Yeah, it just lowers everything.
But the one thing about people that gossip, if gossip comes back around, it does the whole, 1,
Boomerang.
2, 3, 4, 5, and then it comes back. Why did that person be so comfortable to talk bad? If I was talking bad, like let's say me and you were gossiping about Joe, and then you go to Joe, oh, Sabino, you got to hear what he was saying about you. That means Lisa was also saying something that I had the confidence to tell. You know what I mean? Right. So it's two people that are,
That you'll never trust again.
Yeah, exactly.
Usually in situations like that, it could be more than 2 people. It could be 3, 4 people.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Keep your
It's
friends
just
Been there,
closer.
done that.
It's also, we have to be busier than that. There has to be something more productive you could be doing. There has to be a conversation that's going to bring something better to the table.
Absolutely.
There has to be something better. And if there's not, then you just say less or say nothing. Nothing wrong with that.
I agree.
Lisa
with
got
100%.
good energy,
I love her energy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So Lisa, what do you want to talk about in growing up Italian? Like, we got to like convince everybody you're Italian. What could be a little test?
What could be a little test?
Just what she said about growing up in her
yeah.
town.
I mean, so far, yeah, she
aced it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to live with ambrosia salad at like every single family picnic.
What's that?
Ambrosia. Do the new generations not have to be subjected to ambrosia salad? Why did that? It was this weird thing, and it did not sit outside well. Like 4th of July,
Ambrosia
Memorial Day.
salad?
Ambrosia
Yeah,
salad. It looked like
can we
baby
Google it?
vomit. It looked like baby vomit. It was marshmallows,
Right.
dried fruits, some liquid stuff.
The dry fruit, I forgot the name
Canned
of it.
fruit. It was,
Yeah.
and every party had it, and no party needed it. But it was like the sweets.
Yeah.
But then you had this stuff, and you're like, why would I go to ambrosia salad? Are you finding ambrosia salad? We'll look it up. You'll see it. We grew up with ambrosia salad.
Oh, yeah.
Ambrosia salad.
Ambrosia salad.
It's that dry fruit stuff.
And they wet it. What makes it sticky and with the marshmallow? I don't remember.
I've never had this.
No?
You're missing.
I
nothing.
remember something like this, yeah.
I had baked clams and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, we did that.
We're talking about dessert, not.
We're talking about an old school Italian tradition that most people
Right.
would not know about.
Can we Google it? I'm curious. I mean,
You have to see it now.
yeah.
Yeah, now you brought it up.
I'm really trying to figure out what this is. Is it like an Italian American thing?
I think it's more of a straight, just Italian thing. Something's vibrating back here.
Yeah, I think it's my phone.
Oh, that's what it is. Oh, it's his phone. His phone's
It's my phone.
right. What do I want to talk about?
Ambrosia salad.
Okay, show the photo.
Go ahead.
Look, that does not look good, right?
That's an Italian thing?
Picture
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Picture that sitting outside in the sun on a table.
Nasty.
And then your dad's like, go have some. I'm like, I want some sweets, go have some
Like
ambrosia
stale
salad.
gummy bears.
Oh.
Really?
I think the newer generations don't have to be exposed. I'm so happy for them.
But a thing that me and Joe, I say, would get negative comments about is not being authentic Italian. And Joe, I mean, he's spitting Napolitan phrases on the gram.
Yeah, I mean, I speak the dialect.
He's saying
I
"bonanima
read it, I
non
write
me."
it.
His big thing is he holds the traditions of like words
But
of his
just
grandparents.
remember, the person that is on social media that doubts you or asks you questions, or does, this is a fucking degenerate loser that has nothing better to do.
Oh, I know
Because
that.
when you go to their page and there's 17 followers and their 3 posts,
No pictures.
no fucking, come on, you're a troll. You know what I mean? So like, that's you can't explain yourself to somebody like that. But there are times where it is fun to like look at their profile and just be like, oh, I'm really gonna let this person get my panties in a bunch. Jesus, no. You know, people are just, it's human nature. We've also created this. Like, we have to do better with social media and the amount of hours. I was reading a study, since this book that I'm writing is going to be a little bit less about me and more about all that I've watched changed in 30 years since I signed my very first contract. So I signed my first contract
Your book
in the
contract?
adult industry. Okay. No, my first contract to be a porn star in July of 1994.
Wow.
Did they give you a Supermax back then?
Supermax. We made good money back then.
The game. I mean, you know.
That was when the
94.
money was the best.
Yeah.
94.
So you're like,
So that's 30 years. It was my 30-year anniversary this past July. This July right now. So I thought about, you know, all the things that I've watched change, and I've been reading this research to have the best chance of your child having a balanced life from 10 to 15. They're only supposed to spend 3 hours a week on screen time.
yeah, that's crazy.
3 hours scientifically.
That's 30 minutes a day.
Because
less.
they're supposed to be outside. They're supposed to be playing. They're supposed to be engaging with their friends, but they're stuck on these stupid, and we're making this dummies. This we're
robots,
dumbing down,
robots.
just dummies, you know? And also no social skills. Just not the ability to engage in person. So that's been interesting, really digging down that. But I mean, think about how much it's been. I didn't grow up with a phone.
I was going to say, how many books have you wrote now?
So far, 2.
So
will be my
this
third.
one we have one there.
You have the life, or you have the life back? Is it blue cover or white cover?
It's I think it's by.
I'm blind.
Okay, I'll grab it.
And I don't think that'll ever change. I don't think you could be able to change that.
I do. I think we're gonna cycle back. I think parents
I
are
hope
going
so.
to
I hope
realize
you're
the
right.
destruction. I think we're gonna start educating people a lot more on what's happening to just our future workforce, our future communicators.
Right.
I
have
also
it somewhere.
think people are going to realize in countries like Italy, where family eats at a table, you would have the shit beat out of you if you even brought a toy to the table, let alone a phone.
Oh my God, yeah.
We're going to watch these cultures evolve and become better than us because they know how to celebrate community. They know how to take time off. Right. They know what's in front of them is more important than what's in their phone. Yeah. And so we're missing out on that. That's the divide in America right now. I mean, everybody's so irate over what they see on their phone, but yet they don't have an emotion towards another
What's
human
your screen
being.
time like?
It's a lot because of work.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the problem.
But yet, when I'm not working, I'll read a book that is not on a Kindle or not on my phone.
I like audio books. I can't read.
That's fine as long as you're listening.
You can't read.
As long as
you
you're
saying
listening.
that on camera?
You did.
No, I literally like have ADHD. I can't sit there.
You can't concentrate on it.
I can't
And that's
concentrate.
fine. And you might later in life. It might come to you later in life. What helps me is turning on soft music in the background. Just like spa music. Just like something to just keep. But
like Careless Whisper or something like that?
that's a little, you could kind of like that. Like, you know, when you go to the no words. Like a book like that. I'll just sit outside with a book. My phones won't be near me, but it is harder with work, but you have to,
It's harder with work, yeah.
you have to shut it down.
Yeah.
Like I don't respond to people after 8 p.m. ever.
Oh, you have cutoff times, right?
Oh, fuck yeah. And if you hit me too early in the morning, I might not respond to you for days.
What's a good time to message Lisanne?
I think between 10 and 5, Monday through
Sounds
Friday,
fair.
unless we're really, for work. If we're really good friends, then we'll talk on the weekends. A couple of my friends and I will send a couple of memes here and there, but we're respectful of our work hours.
Right.
Weekends, I catch up. Last night, I did a 3-hour FaceTime with my best friend. Like, that was my Friday night.
See, I'm the opposite because 10 to 5, I'm doing something like this, like where I haven't looked at my phone in an hour because I'm doing an interview. So then by the time I check all the texts from the day, or I try to, like sometimes I respond to people at 2 a.m. And it's not because...
You shouldn't do that. You should just wait till the next day.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think it's rude to like make some...
Well, what if somebody has their notifications on and you wake them up? That's even ruder.
My texts are important.
If someone texts you at 2 o'clock in the morning, the house isn't on fire, what are you doing, Joe?
I'm not going to answer it. I'll wait till the morning. But I'm usually like that when someone
Look, we're
calls.
not saving lives over here.
I'm the kind of
Okay?
guy. Listen, if any of my friends are watching this, they've all gotten 3 o'clock morning texts or calls because of an idea I had.
Oh my God, I would murder
I'm the
you.
worst. I'm the worst.
I would murder you. That's what Post-its are for.
Really?
I won't even email.
I like Post-its, but
I won't even email my business people on a Saturday or Sunday. But what I do is Sunday night, I'll sit down and pre-write out about 30 emails.
Okay.
I'll have them all in drafts. And then in the morning, past 10, I don't like to hit people at 9, let them handle their busy shit.
Right.
At 10, I'll start on my East Coast. And then at 1, I start on my West Coast emails. So they all just go out. They're all my thoughts are there when the day isn't as busy. And I pre-write them all Sunday night. But I just don't want to send them because...
Systemato, no?
I'm telling you.
right.
Also, like, I have to say, I'm very lucky that a lot of the people I do business with hold me at high regard.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want them out with their kids on a Sunday thinking this email is that important and stopping to respond to me. I don't want to change their weekend
100%.
energy. And I think we should all be more mindful about weekends, weeknights. I think if we all stopped fucking with each other, we'd be on our phones less. You know what I mean?
I agree. So no more fucking latex, bro. Right? Cut that shit out.
The other night we were at the Yankee Met game, and I'm like on the phone, and Nico was like,
Are you a Mets fan or a Yankees fan?
Mets.
We won, right? Or no?
Yeah, we swept the Yankees
yeah,
for the record. Okay. But yeah, so I was on my phone doing. Nico's like, bro, you gotta learn how to put it down. I'm like, bro, you're right.
It's hard.
It's tough.
You guys, it's hard
But
for you
it-
guys.
Really tough.
But if you sit down at a desk for like 2 hours and go through all of those messages, whatever you can get through, and then you go and you live your life and you enjoy the game, you can go back to it.
Right.
But it's when you're going back and forth, your mind actually isn't as good because your mind is like kind of paying attention to this, kind of paying attention to this, kind of in this.
Yeah, you're all over the place. And then
Yeah.
I gotta find a way to get more disciplined with that, man, for sure.
Discipline, it's hard.
Yeah.
It is hard. It's hard to give yourself a schedule. It's hard to say
especially
no
if
more.
you're so busy and you want to make sure you answer everybody.
Yep.
I get it. I totally get it.
I feel especially now that where our business has went over the last, I mean, we've been growing for 5 years, but we've been like the last couple of months, I feel like it's like getting crazy, you know?
Yeah.
And you feel like it's this 24/7 wheel in your head that's constantly going.
I can I have a hard time sleeping at night because of it's always like doesn't stop.
How about an edible before you go to bed?
That would make it worse.
Really?
Edibles, melatonin is like the go-to usually.
Oh, it works for you?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
good. That's great that it works
But
for you.
Edible? Are you nuts?
I'll do a
The last
10
time-
milligram indica before bed and zonk.
And you knock out?
Yeah, and I
you
wake
don't
up
wake
happy.
up feeling that?
I wake up a little high, you know?
I wake up dead. No, low pick. No, look. How am I on the edibles?
Okay, well, we will not be giving you edibles.
The last time
Good to know.
the last time I took an edible, I was flying from LA to New York
Oh, I
for
always
6
take them on
hours.
the plane, yeah.
I felt like my eyes were bleeding.
What
Like-
was it? Was it indica? Was it sativa?
I don't
need to
know.
more.
I was next to my friend Mike, and he's like, "You want an edible?" I thought I was gonna die. And I took a little Xanax too.
And the Xanax knock you out?
No, I couldn't keep my eyes open, and my eyes were tearing, and I thought my eyes were bleeding.
So one of
Sounds
the,
like a mess.
One of the problems that you're having with sleeping is that you are on your phone right before you put yourself to bed, right? Yeah. So like to me, about an hour and a half before I'm going to bed, I start to just do my own thing and I don't fuck with my phone anymore. Okay. And I don't go back to it either. I don't check it. My alarm's already set at that point. It's on my charger by my bed and I'm like doing my shower and all the things I like to do to relax. That unwind time really does help your mind know that you're ready to go to bed. Nothing other than your children and your family, your families, nothing is that important. We have to stop thinking that we're that important.
Unwind time.
Unwind time is everything. I like candles. I have a whole little routine. Light my candles. I sprinkle my eucalyptus in the shower. Like I do this whole thing. It makes me know it's bedtime.
Lisa, I'm gonna tell you something. When I'm ready to marry the girl of my dreams, I'm gonna make her hang out with you for you gotta teach her everything from A to Z.
You know what?
The candles,
Wait
the refrigerator.
A minute. This is my new business. Maybe I wife train. But you know what?
Yeah.
Would it be like the millionaire matchmaker who was matching people up, but she was single? I never wanted to take her fucking advice. I was like, this fucking bitch, right? Really? She's with somebody now, though. Okay. But it didn't make me doubt her prowess. So we've got to marry me off to an Italian first. I keep him very happy. no children. We'll have dogs. He speaks the motherland language, and I get dual citizenship. So there are some deals here.
The door is gonna get kicked.
We are accepting resumes. They're going to take all the resumes.
No,
okay?
no, I'm not. No.
I am not accepting.
No. I just told you I can't sleep, and you want to pin this on me?
I'd like you to be between.
We could have someone sort through them, and then it could show me the top 3 contenders.
Oh my God, this could be a whole series.
Yeah. Listen,
I mean, we could act them out in different people's voices too. We can have people come in and play. Okay, this could be really fun. We're gonna workshop this.
But that's not.
But I could train wives.
I could see it happen.
How to live your life, just how to operate.
I could see it happen.
And she'd be the one that snatches the phone out of your hand. No. It's
but that happened to me in the
90
past
minutes
already,
before you're going to bed. We're taking the phone away now. It's time to play the soft spa music. It's time to get you in the shower. It's time to unwind. Put your jammies on.
It's time for the bouquet and bonanotte. Is there anything else we want to talk about? Guys, this was fun.
This is great.
This is really
great.
fun.
This was great.
What did you realize the most after I did the Mario episode? What kind of comments did you guys get?
God.
Like a lot of new wild followers.
Well,
Mario
loves you.
Yeah.
I love Mario.
Mario's like very excited to see you today.
I can't wait to see.
Yeah,
Mario.
he's gonna be here any minute.
What a love bug.
He is.
What a fucking love bug.
He's a love bug.
That's a good word.
He's a love bug.
He's a love bug.
He love
And you know what?
Me and Mary, we caught ourselves yesterday. Like I kept picking him up and swinging him in the air. You know, we'd be like,
But you
he's
know
a
what,
love
Mario?
bug.
A little bit of a pain in the ass, but he has a good heart. He has a good heart.
Such a good heart.
I actually made him cry. If you see one of our
In
old
a bad way?
No, in the podcast.
Okay.
I was talking about my grandparents, and he actually went to tears. Like I got him emotional. So that's when I knew
emotional.
that he has a good heart.
No,
He
Mario-
is. There's no other way I could explain him as love bug. That's how I explained him when he was coming into Sirius XM. I'm like, oh, you're gonna.
If he
know
was
who
a
he is.
bug-
He's a little love bug. You're gonna love him. And the girl at the front was like, I knew exactly who he was when he got here. I'm like, yes, because he's a love bug.
If Mario was a bug, what kind of bug would he be?
Oh, he'd be a really lovely ladybug.
There you go.
Everybody loves a ladybug. Nobody kills ladybugs.
By the way, did you know that you can buy ladybugs live from Amazon and they send them to you? And do you know why you would buy them? No, you don't. I just learned this too.
Let's hear
So
it.
you can buy ladybugs on Amazon because they eat chiggers. Chiggers are little tiny bugs that bite. And it just so happens the plants that we have on my rooftop pool were getting chiggers. And one of my neighbors researched it and said, oh, the ladybugs eat them. So let's buy a bunch of ladybugs and we'll release them up here. And they'll
Free
eat.
the ladybugs.
And so we released a bunch of ladybugs, which is so magical and so much better than spraying chemicals to kill the bugs. Because we knew the chemicals were just going to wash into the pool.
Yeah,
Right? If it
they're
rains, they're going to go
on
in.
you anyway.
Exactly. And so doing this, and we did it, it was on 4th of July. We did this ladybug release. It was so special.
This is nuts. All right, maybe skip that part for my wife.
Okay.
All right, no
We'll still
ladybugs.
But what was the.
I like 1 or 2, not 50.
What did you learn about my following? Because I always know that people who I've blocked then get to go in heavy when I'm on the
on
show that I no longer allow them in my social media.
I got to
space.
be honest. So I've been around a lot of people that have like crazy fan bases similar to yours, like the artists that we deal with from Italy or like those crazy followings.
Is
and
he
they have,
single? The artist from
Oh,
Italy?
well, yeah. I don't know if Goy's single, but Goy is a big fan of you too.
Okay.
But
Asking. Put it out there.
Goy would be a good suitor. I'll show you his Instagram and everything.
I've already seen it.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yeah.
You think he's handsome?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. We should do a little video for him.
will.
He'll go to Sicily, will you?
Okay.
Listen.
Back to the fans and the people
Okay.
following.
So
Go
like
on.
someone like Gue, when he posts me on his story, all the people that messed him a zillion times, can you get him to do a video shout out for me? Can you get him to do this? Mandami un saluto, like send me a hello from
Everybody
him.
wants something. It's
Like-
annoying as fuck.
Like I'll get
Ugh, these
instantly,
needy ass motherfuckers.
instantly like dozens of those. Like
Yeah.
from
My friends say the same thing.
So,
They're like,
yeah.
every guy is asking me to give them your phone number. Like, who's doing that? You know what I mean? But it's
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of that.
Yeah, Lisa and boot camp.
I just don't know
coming.
why people feel it's appropriate to ask people for things. And maybe that's an Italian thing. We didn't ask people for shit.
Yeah.
You definitely didn't ask somebody something that you've never done anything for in the first place. Of
course not.
And in my space, guys roll up on me asking me to do a bunch of shit. Oh, call my friend, do some photos. I'm like, let me ask you something. You ever pay for porn? No. Okay, then. Fuck you. You ain't done nothing for me. You didn't even pay for the stuff that I created. So what good are you? Why should I give you a photo? At least when they pay to come into a venue where I'm doing an event, or they come to Williamsburg Wine and Liquor and they buy wine, I will take photos with them because now we're all playing the same game. We do me a favor, I do you a favor.
Of course.
But this just asking me for shit, what's wrong with you?
One hand washes the other.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, Lisa. I am going to ask you for a picture later when we're finished with the
Yeah,
podcast.
but we already done stuff together. You
Oh,
already
it's
brought me
all-
joy. Look at these. Look at the treats. I mean, jeez,
treats.
I'm
Well,
taking
I'm
these
gonna buy
with
you
me.
wine.
Don't think we're giving these away. I'm taking them
And
back
you
to
go-
my building, and we're going back to my city. Okay,
Yeah,
Or my
take
apartment.
it, take it.
And after the show, when the cameras are off, you're going to give me this guy's address. We're going to go take a ride to Florida.
Okay, the guy in Florida.
I have nothing to do with that. Don't attack me. Go for Joe.
Don't worry about it. All right.
I don't want any
ask
issues.
no questions. We're
Don't
gonna
worry
handle
about it. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. If you don't follow Lisa Ann by now, what are you doing? Come on.
You might be blocked. That could be why.
Could be.
I just started following you this morning.
I won't block you. I'm the real Lisa Ann everywhere.
Let's go. Let's do it. All right. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Lisa.
Thank you for having me.